Meet James. James is going to show you how not to cross the street. While walking across the street, make sure you're not texting. Texting while you're crossing the street can lead to bodily harm. Oh no, James! Watch out for that! Whoa! Well, James, did you learn a lesson about texting today? Good. Now remember to put your phone down when crossing the street. So be like James and walk safely.
Welcome back to Fast Track. I'm Sarah Wortman.
And I'm Joey Beard.
President Obama gave a 20-minute address at a special UN summit where he announced what he called a new U.S. global development policy. Kara Oko has more details with our political update.
President Obama announced a new plan and change for strategy for aiding poor countries Wednesday. The policy was unveiled after a year-long review ordered by Obama in an effort to examine how U.S. aid dollars can be more effectively targeted after the world recession. The Obama administration based this program with 4 approaches, starting with changing the definition of development. As for the goals to eradicate poverty, Obama said no one can deny the progress that has been made, citing better education, the drop in diseases such as HIV and AIDS, more access to drinking water, and ending poverty for many. Faced with a divided public over his signature legislative achievement, President Barack Obama hailed the healthcare reform bill passed in March. "We are now actually able to provide some help to the American people," Obama said at the carefully orchestrated meeting. Obama noted the new provisions under the bill that took effect Thursday, the 6-month anniversary of the day he signed it into law. The new provisions will end a lifetime limits on coverage, ensure coverage with children with pre-existing medical conditions, and allow parents to keep children on their policies until the age of 26. For those of you who enjoy mock politics, Jon Stewart is planning a rally to restore sanity in Washington. The rally to restore sanity is slated for October 30th, the weekend before Election Day on the Washington Mall. According to Stewart, the rally is not a campaign for either political party. It is a counter-protest against the rising tide of conformity that causes hyper-fanatics on both sides to demonize those with whom they disagree. In the weeks since the rally to restore sanity was announced, more than 100,000 people have signed up on Facebook, and more than 900,000 people have watched the announcement on the Comedy Central website. That's all we have for you on this week's political update. Back to Joey and Sarah in the studio.
Lady Gaga is known for being outrageous, but now she's showing her own outrage about the military's policy on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Nicole Collins is in Washington with the details.
Don't ask, don't tell is wrong. It's unjust.
At a rally in Maine, pop star Lady Gaga managed to turn the notorious meat dress she wore to this year's MTV Video Music Awards into a metaphor for gay rights, saying, quote, "Equality is the prime rib of America."
Shouldn't everyone deserve the right to wear the same meat dress that I do?
The eccentric icon urged Maine's 2 Republican senators to vote against their party in a key Senate vote that would allow debate to begin on the defense authorization bill, which includes a repeal of the military's ban on openly gay and lesbian service members.
I thought equality was non-negotiable.
Despite opposing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Senators Olympia Snowe and Susan Collins plan to vote with their party, not because of the controversial policy, but rather because Democratic leadership will not allow Republican amendments to the defense bill. The senators are also concerned about voting to change the policy before a military review of its impact on the armed forces is complete. In a statement, Snowe writes, "We should all have the opportunity to review that report, which is to be completed on December 1st, as we reevaluate this policy and the implementation of any new changes."
The Senate could vote to begin debate today as early as 2:15 p.m. Eastern. The top Democrat in the Senate has said a final vote on the defense bill won't happen until after November's midterm elections. In Washington, I'm Nicole Collins.
The final summer push has begun to decline, but the risk of fires across the country is still a concern. Eric Larson is here to tell you exactly what a fire weather watch is and how you can prevent accidental fires.
The fall season has arrived, and with it cooler temperatures, but we're definitely seeing an increase of fire weather as we move into the fall season. Now what that means is we are actually seeing increases in chances of fire throughout forests and other types of wooded areas. Now we want to talk a little bit about fire weather and tell you what are some of the ingredients as we move into this season. Now fire weather is brought on by southerly winds bringing warm, dry air into our area. That plus a lack of rain dries out the surface, so any of that kindling on the ground, any of that brush dries out, and all it needs is a spark to really catch fire. And the final ingredient is low humidity. Low humidity lets, if any lightning were to strike, it'll start that fire right on up. So, taking a look at the map here, this is a U.S. drought monitor, and this actually shows us areas of dry, areas lacking rain throughout the year this year. So any areas colored in the light yellow or dark yellow or red are areas that are below rainfall average for the year. You see some dark spots over here in West Virginia where they're very dry, and also down here in Louisiana, which are dry as well. And what has actually happened is that a high pressure system off over the Atlantic Ocean has been sitting there for most of the summer. And while it's protected the coast from hurricanes, it's actually done a lot to steer all of our systems up and over into Canada, which has dried out much of this region to our south. And with that, this is a look at a map that was actually from earlier this week. This is a system that was just off to our east. And what actually happened is that high pressure system bringing in winds going counterclockwise, or clockwise actually, around that high pressure has brought in air down from the Gulf. As that air has moved up into our area, it has actually dried out. And with that, it's actually brought in low humidity to our area. And with that low humidity, we actually have that increased risk for fire, and that was actually why we were under a fire weather warning. But a few fall safety tips: keep bonfires enclosed, such as wood fire pits and burners. Keep water sources close so you can put that fire out, and don't ignore fire bans. I'm Eric Larson with your Fast Track Weather.
When we return, we'll fill you in on what happened this week with Purdue volleyball, golf, soccer, and tennis.
We will also have this week's community calendar and entertainment news. Stay tuned.